Happy Halloween, listener! If you're hearing this on Halloween, that is. Otherwise, welcome back to Scrollies on a very special episode. We are recording this on Halloween night. I am Squat Cobbler, and I am here with the spookiest co-host of all.
Of course, that's me, Team Ratnado, and it is a happy Halloween. Unless something else is happening, it's like another time in the future.
Is something else happening right now, Ratnado, for you?
It could be. I mean, if you're listening to this, you could be listening to my voice right here, live, or you could also go to twitch.tv/Team Ratnado, you know?
Yeah, and what are you doing over there right now?
Let's go look. Oh my gosh, how could you do that again? This is the third time.
Oh, you really think you'd have learned over the last 2 years?
Something of a tradition. Kind of crazy. The PlayStation 4 video game.
Yeah.
Which I think had Rami Malek. He I think this was like kind of his first big thing that he ever did. Now he's huge, but back then, Until Dawn.
Oh, Ratnado, how can you forget the cinematic masterpiece that is Night at the Museum?
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
He played the pharaoh in that. I forget the name, but the one who had the magic tablet. I never saw the third one, but I like those first two quite a bit.
They're great movies. They are really good, and he was great in that. And then he went into Until Dawn, which is a great game as well.
Absolutely. Well, hey, if you guys want to listen to us here and you want to leave Ratnado on lurk, or vice versa, feel free to. This'll always be here waiting for you, and that VOD will always be waiting for you. But it's Halloween, so you'll never have this chance to spend Halloween night 2022 with us ever again. So
you better do it, or else.
Ratnado, it's feeling spooky. The trick-or-treaters are coming by. The leaves are falling. There's a breeze in the air, and there's an aura of spoopiness afoot. How are you feeling this fine Halloween night?
Man, it is very nice. I don't know what it is, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, Christmas, we gotta get to Christmas, but Halloween just has this, like, it's a universal holiday for everybody. Everybody celebrates it in their own way, and over the past couple of years, I've come to really celebrate it in the Twitch space, in streaming space, and with video games. And I think for all the facets of my life, video game and Halloween have become a little bit synonymous, and I think in a lot of ways that are really fun. I find myself spending time with people who also are like-minded and like video games.
Likewise. I as well. Not the first year I streamed. We hit affiliate in October, so that overshadowed the spoopiness a little bit. But last year, in 2021, I celebrated the Halloween month with Hauntober, in which I played Symphony of the Night, Metroid Dread, and a couple requests from one Chunky Cat for the first time.
Yeah.
That being Fatal Frame 2, The Crimson Butterfly, and Visage. Both of which were not the ideal experience, but hey, nonetheless, it was good to play some spooky games during Hauntober.
I do remember that Charles Prime's milk spilled out a lot, what with Le Thick Casa being upside down.
Well, yes, that I believe that happened in Cute-Vember, because I didn't beat the game in time. However, Le Thick Casa was cursed to be inverted for the duration of that playthrough, which lasted until January. So let me tell you, the holidays were spent with gravity all wonky.
That's right.
You've never seen an upside down Christmas tree until you've lived in an inverted house.
That's right. Now I remember.
But we just flipped the camera back around for the rest of those streams, so you couldn't tell on the viewers.
Yeah, that's true. What is a stream?
A miserable pile of technical difficulties.
Well, Squat, man, how was your Halloween night going? What are you doing?
My Halloween night is going swimmingly. I'm here. I'm probably even lurking in your ongoing stream right now. So yeah, I'm gonna wave to myself. Oh. Okay, I'm waving back to myself in chat. That's cool. My Halloween night's going well. Trick-or-treaters came and went. It's pretty late here. A little too late for Zach J89. He's snoozing because he's got work the next day and he's got to get his kids up like a good dad.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, it is still the witching hour, so we are still in the Halloween spirit, despite the calendar date no longer being October 31st. It's feeling good. This has got me reminiscing on on Halloweens of days gone by, of years past, that I would often spend it maybe watching a movie or playing a game that put me in the mood.
There really is something about this feeling, because it isn't like a holiday that is I don't know, family, I guess. I'm sure a lot of people spend their holidays or Halloweens with their family, but it's something that, like, yeah, you could be with your family, but also it could be for the boys. And when I use the boys there, I mean the figurative sense, much like the Choo Choo Boys.
Vivian, famously not a boy.
Thank you so much. That's a tagline.
Absolutely. I have to agree. Halloween, it changes as you grow. You start out and it's family fun, trick or treating, bobbing for apples, everyone's favorite pre-COVID activity. No one would ever think of doing now. Sticking your face in a bucket of dirty water that other people slobbered in. But hey, it's a good time. It's good vibes, and I'll tell you what, Ratnado. Some of those good vibes and good times relate back to certain games I very fondly remember playing around this time in years past.
Yeah.
And also to this day. This month, for myself, Luigi's Mansion. I played that for the first time. It's a spoopy game from the GameCube, one of the first ones. In fact, there may be a place where those sessions enjoy an afterlife. But we'll get into that in a bit, folks. Ratnado, how about yourself? What have you been doing this month?
The afterlife. Wow. Okay. You know what? Things are pretty good here. This month has been crazy. As some people may know, my June, my July, my August, September were insane. And so I was kind of just resting. I was playing lots of Final Fantasy XIV and so on and so forth. But recently, I've started to get back into the streaming game. Despite technical difficulties, despite everything against me, I'm like, you know what? I gotta do this. And I have been playing some games offline. I've really merged my love of Final Fantasy XIV with streaming, and I've seen my viewer count dip. But that's okay. Those are for me. It's for me.
August and September walk. So October Night Spoopy is the third could sprint into a scenario with a overpowered boss that you need your company to help you take down.
Exactly. I feel like this has been a junior October Night Spoopies. So, it is the third annual, but it wasn't as big or as grand as I'd like it to be. But I've been playing that. I've been playing A Plague Tale Requiem a little bit more. And because I just got the Steelbook edition for it on Nintendo Switch, I am poking around in Persona 5 Royal again. So,
all right.
Yeah, it's a great game. I might even jump back onto it on PlayStation 5 because it just plays a little bit better. But great game there too. And things are coming up, man. Things are coming up Ratnado right now.
Things are coming back around Ratnado. Within a week's time, it will mark the 2-year anniversary of myself stumbling into your chat at random, just from a quick search on the Twitch categories for Wind Waker HD.
Can you believe that, Squat Cobbler? How different would the world be right now if you didn't do that?
I think it was destined to be, because otherwise Spoopies wouldn't have happened, Scrollies wouldn't have happened. In fact, the entire course of our streaming career would have looked vastly different. So it was entirely upon the decision of the fates that we crossed paths and met in the month of Cute-Vember, which I guess starts tomorrow.
Yes, Cute-Vember is back, baby!
Woo! Third time's the charm.
I'm going all out for this. I'm trying a lot harder this time. And honestly, Cute-Vember, if Scorpion hadn't decided Cute-Vember, if he hadn't decided we'd play Wind Waker, really think about that,
Instrumental in the meetings of ourselves and all of you listeners. You likewise would not be here, either following Ratnado most likely or listening to Scrollies, definitely, if not for one Scorpion MDSA, the Ram Goat.
The Ram Goat. He's been busy, but he's doing his best. He's a good little guy. yeah, Cutevember's coming. Quick little preview. Guess what we got? We're gonna finish Wind Waker.
I've been waiting so long. My bones are filled with life once more.
It's a cute game, and so we're gonna play it. We're gonna finish it as well. Yo, shout out Sibylla Scribbles, Bug Fables.
Ooh, all right.
A very cute game, and beyond that, I'm not revealing any more. Those are the two you get for now.
A little sampling platter before the main course of Cutevember comes your way, folks. Be sure to keep on the lookout for that over at twitch.tv/TeamRatNado.
What about you?
Ratnado, I likewise have an announcement for this next month.
No.
Now, listener, like I said before, Luigi's Mansion is enjoying a nice little afterlife on a little place called the Squat Cobbler YouTube channel. What? When did this happen? Well, let me just tell you, I thought it would be a waste for a blind playthrough to just disappear into the unknown, into the memories of those who joined the Sock Drawer Discord streams, of which we greatly appreciate you, Mooncat Gab, for recommending it, for Shraxa and Zimris and Ule and Zach J, among others, for joining.
Zach.
But it's time. It's time that the Squat Cobbler playthroughs return in some form. And this is the case. The entire Luigi's Mansion playthrough is up on YouTube right now, and tonight, Halloween / November 1st, depending on where you are. Another playthrough is starting from the beginning all the way through to the end. I'm too cheap to get the new game, so I am revisiting at this moment Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle for the first time since 2020. I have not played it. It was one of the first games I got on Switch. In fact, I got a Switch not for it, but I got a Switch because I felt bad borrowing Payday so often that it was like he didn't have it anymore after playing it so much. So that's going up very, very soon. In fact, it may be up as you listen to this right now. But yeah, that's up there on the YouTube, and that'll be coming out every few days or so. We'll set a schedule soon enough, but you can find it over there, and maybe with more to come, listeners.
Go subscribe right now.
Go subscribe. The link's below.
We'll wait. You know what? No, we don't got time. Sorry. We just go silent. Hey, all right, listener, you got 30 seconds, and
okay, 29, 28, 27.
Here's the thing, though. I know you're trying to sell this, but look, I speak truth to power. I want everyone who's listening to this to know.
Your dreams become memes, right, Nato? Speak it.
They're spinning this as like a really positive thing, but you know what this says to me? It says Shraxa can no longer afford the exclusivity fee for the sock sock drawer.
I didn't want to state this publicly, but the checks have started bouncing. I'm afraid my services will be needed elsewhere, Shraxa. No, I'm just kidding. Doing the Discord streams has been great. I have no qualms about those, but I wanted it to be enjoyed by more than just those inhabitants of the Sock Drawer Discord. There's plenty of listeners here who are not part of that, and I'd like to look back on them someday and smile, thinking of the good times had. So that's where they'll be found, on the YouTube, and keep your eye out, because more may come down the pipeline.
Very good. I'm excited. I love YouTube. I mean, like, Twitch is great, but when I'm working sometimes, it's nice to be able to just pause it and be like, this is great. I'm enjoying it, but I need to focus here, and I'll be back in like 3 minutes.
Yeah, let's get a little reflective this Halloween night, right, Nato? I was a YouTube boy for a long, long time. I made my account, I want to say 2009, but I was using it for a few years before that. And pretty much been on YouTube for well over a decade, just about every day, which is probably a problem. But I had never even looked at Twitch once. I might have clicked on a stream just at random because someone posted a link or something, but I never sat down and watched a live stream on twitch.tv until the moment I myself began streaming. I just knew of it as a live streaming platform, and I'm like, well, YouTube's draconian in a lot of ways as far as that goes, so I'll go to number 2. And sure enough, that's how I met all of you. So I'm glad I did, but YouTube's I know well. I've seen it through the ages, and I think that there is lots of great potential there as well.
That's awesome. really glad to hear that. That's good. Making content. I mean, I think Scrollies for both of us has kind of been just like a thing we could do in the meantime as we're working on other stuff. So
Scrollies was originally side Scrollies, as in side project, and yet it's become the main project for this duration of EHA times past and internet woes. Yeah. But maybe not for much longer. I mean, well, hang on, I shouldn't say that. Scrollies will continue to live on in the tumultuous nature of our lives. But listener, we all know what you came for originally, and that was gameplay, that was content in that sense, and we still provide that as we can. But enough about content, enough about other websites. We're here on Scrollies this Halloween night, talking about some Halloween vibes, some spooky season favorites. Ratnado.
Yes.
I myself always get into the mood for some Castlevania around Halloween. And I wouldn't say that I always play a different game each year, but I think the very first one I ever delved into around this time of year, specifically for the theming, was Super Castlevania 4.
Oh, interesting. I didn't expect that.
Yeah. It's an old one, but it's not the originals. It's not the NES ones. I infamously only like 2 NES games. That being Super Mario Bros. 3 and Mega Man 2, because I'm a basic as we know. Stoofers. Super Castlevania 4 has pretty intricate controls for the time. You could whip in all 8 directions the D-pad offered. Yeah. You could interact with all sorts of different aspects of the environment in all kinds of neat, creative ways. In fact, I think it was almost even a tech demo for the Super Nintendo, and it showed off every single one of the modes throughout the course of it. I never beat that game until this year, pretty recently. I think at the beginning of the month, I finally made it up to the final level as you climb the staircase to Dracula's tower. You encounter all of the old classic areas, you hear the music from the NES games, and finally you fight Dracula himself, who from my experience, and granted I've only beat a few Castlevania games, Dracula always seems like a pushover compared to some of the other bosses in the games. I always think Dracula is one of the easier ones, that the other bosses, they put up a little more of a struggle, a little more of a tough time. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, Galamoth, in the inverted catacombs of Symphony of the Night. What the heck were you? What were the designers thinking, making you so absurdly complicated? You were the true final boss in my book. I spent forever fighting that.
Oh my gosh. I always know October's coming, even if I'm not looking at the calendar now, just because Squat Cobbler starts DMing and he's just like, oh, hey, what's up? Me and Proc and, maybe Samsonite, we're going out this evening for pleasure. The night is still young. Would you like to join us? And I'm
yes.
It must be October.
Indeed, it must be October, because what is a month but a miserable little pile of days? 31 to be exact this month.
So you mentioned this before, but it is pretty Halloween, right? I mean, it's gothic horror.
Yeah, it's got the classic monsters, and I don't think they're scary. Castlevania's not scary. They're action games. They may have some spooky vibes, which I can get down with, but I'm not scared by them. I think they're fun. I think monsters are fun. I like creature designs. Yeah. And that's what I tend to do in the month of October.
Ooh, very much a good time. I've mentioned a couple of the things that I like to do, Squat Cobbler. I've mentioned this a couple times too, I think before. But the Silent Hill 2, which just got an announcement for a remake.
Big hype.
There was conversation in the Discord about that. I'm optimistic, but I'm not sure, because one of the best things about Silent Hill 2 is I think it was crafted so well in that everything about it was very intentional, and it wasn't done because, like, hey, this is the popular thing to do, or we're going for a typical story. And already the voice they have for this new one, I'm like, I don't know, man. The stilted Guy Seehee voice doing James Sunderland is just like, I don't know. It's surreal. It's weird. I think Vivian said that on the Discord. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. And so, I don't know. I'm excited to get Final Fantasy VII remakes and a Silent Hill 2 remake. is I'll take it. I'll take it all day. And my favorite thing to do, which isn't playing the game, which, you know, hey, I need to fix that on stream maybe sometime soon after Chunky Cat buys me this stuff. My favorite thing to...
Yeah, you need the PlayStation 2 hardware.
Yeah, you really do. And you act...
If you're lucky, a pink model. Shout out DD Bash.
Yes, that's actually accurate. Accurate. DD, let me know. Let me borrow it. Let me borrow your PlayStation 2. But yeah, so one of the things about it, I think, is that I like to do isn't me playing, but I love to curl up on a couch, put up YouTube on a big TV, and watch the Super Best Friends play. They're no longer together. I don't know anyone out there remembers the Best Friends Zaibatsu.
Oh, they're now they're just super best acquaintances.
Oh well, some of them are. Like it was legit. Like, hey, these two of them, Matt and Pat, are no longer friends. They don't want to deal with each other, and not in like a we hate each other, it's over, but in like this isn't going well. We're just ending.
It happens, unfortunately. Those very public online breakups, but nonetheless,
it seemed good. But Squat Cobbler,
the good memories remain, and the evidence in the form of YouTube videos.
Yes.
Remain. What is it about this specific playthrough, right, NATO, that sticks out to you so much and makes it such a tradition?
So, number one, Silent Hill 2 has major Halloween vibes. Just feels so... I don't know. It's spooky, it's psychological horror, it's scary for the people who like scary games, but it's also just like incredible music. Very just like takes you out of... it takes you out of your normal, you know? And then also, it's just such a good... It's so well crafted. That's the biggest thing. And the two best friends, you know, Matt and Pat, they're playing it, they're talking through it, and they have such a good knowledge of the game that they're able to talk about all this cool stuff about it. Like, oh, hey, we're going to hint at things later so you recognize them. We're not going to spoil you yet. They're very good at saying, like, so you watch it and you're like, oh, I did notice that, but I wouldn't have thought about it for something that it turns out to be like, whoa, that was really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like with replays on Let's Play channels, it's either they're gonna fake their experience and like it's their first time playing, even though they know it's coming, which I myself am guilty of in a few situations, or they over-explain it to the point where you're not surprised by anything. It's like, oh yeah, see this obviously leads into this later part of the game that you haven't seen yet. Yep. So being able to tease but not spoil, I think, is an impressive.
Absolutely. Feat. They have such a respect for the game, and I always liked it. I think I was like, oh, this is a pretty cool game, but it was like their playthrough of it. I revere Silent Hill 2 now. So,
all right. Well, you might be able to find the link for that down below as well, folks. Be sure to give that a watch, but not before checking out Ratnato's Until Dawn stream happening right now as we were.
Yeah, exactly. You got to. I mean, hey, maybe pop on over there. Maybe I'm talking about Silent Hill 2 there.
You probably are. You know, it is Halloween night after all. Well, that's awesome. It sounds like we both become Konami boys in the month of October.
Yeah, that's...
And then Konami boys the rest of the year because of Metal Gear.
When's the last time you played a Metal Gear, Squat?
It was Metal Gear Solid 4. I meant to finish up the series this year, but Yeehaw Times difficulties has made that a struggle. But I do intend to finish out Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker and Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Well, Ground Zeroes followed by The Phantom Pain, because as we all know, they're different games. Yes. Wink, wink.
Ground Zeroes, phenomenal. By the way.
I've heard it's very short and sweet in the best way. That being said, not to say that's the end of the series, but that is what I originally set out to do, was to play all the mainline titles. So maybe after that, there's a chance for some more. Maybe some Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, so I can take part in the memes.
The memes. Yes, dude. That would be awesome. That would be really cool.
Time will tell. But, you know, Konami, as it is today, not exactly the best it's ever been. I think we should applaud them for paying attention to their video game series as video games, as they're doing with the Silent Hill 2 remakes. Regardless of how it turns out, I think we should encourage them to continue down that path.
Yep. Focus on the good stuff that people like.
Well, Ratnato, I think, is there anything else you want to say to the listeners this Halloween night as we enjoy the remaining spooky times this year before we transition into Squat Gobbler territory?
I think the biggest thing for me, especially with like Twitch, is you can make things happen and you can create traditions and you can create a spirit. I know that like maybe when I was 10 years ago when I'm 22, 23, I didn't really have a Halloween tradition. I didn't have those feelings. But especially now that I know like everything, I don't know. It's what I'm saying is go with it. Shout out to Reliant K-Fan and his presentation at RatCon. It's cool to like things. And I don't think there's anything wrong with going into October or creating your own things. I think October Night Spoopies for me now has a specific feel, and I make sure that I've got my pumpkin spice coffee and I watch my Silent Hill 2 playthrough, and even, Dread. I'm playing Metroid Dread, which...
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
And that's kind of... I crafted my own holiday that makes me feel a certain way. And sure, it is a very... Squat Cobbler and Vivian focused demographic right now, but hey, next year maybe I'll play Silent Hill 2 and Chunky Cat will be happy.
Hey, I'm never one to complain about Metroid content. And as we enter Cute-Vember, it is truly the cutest game of all those cuddly alien creatures in the Metroid series.
It's such a fun game.
It's a good time, buttery smooth.
It's great. I really am enjoying it a lot. I'm going to finish it. Who knows if I'll do some After Dark Metroid Dread streams that aren't cute, but it's kind of cute. I don't know. We'll see. But I really enjoy the game, and I want to finish it.
Heck yeah. This is music to my ears. This is Red Brinstar to my ears.
I do want this on record, though. Squat Cobbler said I am doing very good in Metroid Dread, despite not being a Metroidvania guy.
At this moment in time, he is doing excellent. He's gotten lost once at the same part that I got lost at, so I take that as validation. Proc showed me the way out. And Ratnado himself found the way out, so I consider that good game design, even though the rest of the game is bad game design, as David Jaffe is keen to remind us. Piggybacking off what you said, Ratnado, traditions, they start the second time, everyone. The first time, it's just a thing you do. You have to take some initiative to make it happen again. And at that point, hey, who's to say it can't happen a third and fourth and fifth time? So, Halloween traditions, start them, live them, and if you still enjoy them, keep them going. We here at the Scrollies podcast would never, ever stop a tradition. Whoa, Ratnado, what's going on? Oh my gosh, the space-time is breaking apart. What's happening? Ratnado, stand back. Ratnado, I can't believe it. We've neglected our tribute to Sega. Having a series of such high highs and low lows has broken the very nature of reality. We have to directly address this, Ratnado.
Oh my god! How could we have been so egotistical and prideful?
We're getting sucked in. It's time we talk about it. Oh, it smells in here. It smells like chili dog.